Hey guys, Casper here with an update of stocks that I've been collecting during the day and last night. Things I want to show you, things I want to show you again, because I still think it looks good. And yeah, let's see where it takes us. I will try to do it below 15 minutes because and once you start to get above, 10, 15 minutes, it can be tricky to again for keep the focus. I was looking a little bit here on XRP. Again, we bought the break there. Insanely bullish still, and I do believe above like 2.4 looks really good. But that wasn't why we're here. I was just looking at it before I went live. So first Majestic down 8% today. Does it still look good here? We have broken the 2-year trend line here, still hovering above. Absolutely, still looks really good. So first Majestic here, basically as long as we hold the yellow, everything is fine for first Majestic. Momentum should be, yeah, weekly momentum is below us here, and yeah, I have no issues with first Majestic at all. SVM here, by far one of my favorite setups at this moment in time. 20-year chart, right? We have the upper and then we have the wedge. This is actually the main wedge that we're looking at now. And I will say this again, there's a ton of things that I could be adding to the chart, right? Um, and because people ask me, sometimes you only have three trend lines going on, but there are so many more setups and all that. But I try to keep it as clean as possible and only show what is important now. And to me, that is the upper, the long-term bad boy here, and then the wedge going on there. And then I have some sort of, I wouldn't call it splitter here, but I've just noted that roughly $6 is somewhat of a big level. Not important per se, but definitely worth noting. And you could also maybe, a bit like a zone here, but I think you get the deal. So yeah, quite simply, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. We're getting a rejection today, I think. Was it yesterday? Oh, today actually, with this is the weekly candlesticks, by the way. And this trend line we have had on for quite some time, just waiting for it to break. So we haven't got a signal yet. But I will say this is the first touch. This is still a touch, of course, but it's the, Silver Squeeze 1.0 that did that. And then we have here, so when and if we start to break here, again, depending on when it happens, but anything north of like $7, 6.6 to $7 when we break that, I think you should have an alert on your trading view because we're going to go straight to here and then do that. That is my view. Uh, this is actually quite good. Again, SVM by far is one of my favorite setups at this moment in time. We have everything we're looking for. Simply, we have the 4-year wedge. And we just wait for it to break out because when it does, we are very comfortable on the right side of that trade. Again, if we don't get the break, we are not gonna jump the gun there. Here we have CDE. Oh boy, CDE. Remember, this is 30 years of trend line. And just look at the perfection between this channel here. I mean, it's a beauty from, I mean, yeah, it's hard to describe. And then after that, we have this wedge pattern here. We didn't make the lower low there, which was very important. And then we rallied, flagged here, and then we finally broke in May, right? The long-term golden 30-year. And then we have it there. This is the one that takes us in. Anything north of $10, and the entry is set for a CD. That is when all this momentum here, boom, releases to the upside. Again, probability-wise, again, we are in for a really good trade. And the good thing is, again, very clean, simple setup, and we're getting two check boxes. Long-term downtrend broken, and then we have a 10-year wedge broken as well. That is pretty darn good. CDE here looks incredible. Again, you buy it above $10. 10. Endeavour EXK, also a beautiful 20-year wedge. I mean, when there are so many good setups right now in the gold and silver space, it is really scary, and I wish I could buy them all, but I can't. But I wish I could. And again, you know the deal. These, in my view, and again, it takes a lot of training, of course, but these are the ones that makes you all the money. These are this wedge pattern, Elliott wave, whatever. Again, I don't, and then it breaks out, right? We get the first pullback after that, and then we like do that. These are the ones that are really, really, really good. And I assume if this was listed, during the 2000s run up, I believe we would have seen the momentum take us in. I'm just waiting here. Anything north of $6, then this one is broken, and we have this little pivot where we have some resistance going on here. You can see that as well here. So $6, then we are definitely broken horizontally, and at the wedge. So $6, whatever happens here is $6, yeah. Then of course there will be some stuff going on here because we have a major pivot at roughly 8, almost 8, but also it's the major breakdown over here. So that might take some time to break. We might stall, we might do whatever, but ultimately I think it takes us higher, and momentum can be measured. I do believe we're gonna see, again, we can take the initial momentum leading in here. I wish we had more, but we don't. And then we take from the lowest here to there. So again, I'm 18 is the momentum-based setup here. I do believe overperformance, but that is definitely a point where take some profit. And you can even do it, take half off at the all-time high. If we get there, then you have 100%. You take half off, you're risk-free, you find a new setup, rinse and repeat, right? Being risk-free is so good. I mean, it's so incredible. It's so incredible to be risk-free in a stock. It's very, what's it called? Undervalued or underlooked from people. Just in theory, you don't really care what happens, right? In theory. Look at this one here, Hochschild. We're still bullish by far. We had the break here. We're retesting, but also look at the massive level. Again, I would wait. If you're not in, it's fine. I would wait to buy. The reason is 325. It is as clear as day. For some reason, 325 is just a massive support and resistance level. We have broken the 15-year downtrend. Beautiful break. We have one on top here, one there, tiny tag, tiny pullback. You know the deal. Breakout, retest, resumption. That is our theory for this one here. And again, if you are in, you can easily buy more once let's say we clear 330. Then we have taken out this entire massive stiff, in this case, ceiling most of the time, and we're going to look for more upside. So Hochschild here mining looks very good. I have no issues with Hochschild at all. At all. This one is a bit more tricky. MUX here. We have the downtrend, clear as day, the red one there. That is now our guide, meaning overall for the past 15 years, downtrend, right? Clear as day, lower low, lower high, lower low, most likely, a lower high here, and then we start to break, and then the downtrend is over. You can't jump the gun internally here because this is actually, that is a head and shoulders with a bit of a steep neckline. I get that, but I still think when we break back above this here at roughly 12, that it is again the start of a breakout. So you can wait and you go long at roughly 14. But again, here internally, we are breaking a 5-year trend line / neckline, in my view. And yeah, hopefully we get a little bull flag here that takes us in. We have a stop below, everything is fine. And then we ride it out, breaking the 15-year trend line and beyond. There might be some uptrend going on here. I think we should actually add that. I think it's very precise, to be honest. Almost. We will leave it. We will leave it for now. It's a phantom, meaning we only have 3 points, so we don't really know. And the thing that I'd like to do when I'm not sure about the upper end or the system itself is that I do the low side there, I add it to the upper, and then I make it like a dotted one because then I know it's there, but it's not confirmed. Let's say we tag it right? Let's say we are lucky, ooh, and then we go to there, and then we get a big rejection, then all of a sudden, okay, fine, boom, it is a resistance. We don't know yet. But the MUX, as mentioned, above, 11.7 to $12, I think you can jump the gun. Looks good. Prim looks fantastic. Yes, we're down 3% today. Who cares? We are looking at the weekly time frame, and we have a beautiful breakage here, and we call the long there at roughly 1.8. There is also a beautiful wedge, right? The same thing. Again, these are the patterns we're looking at over and over again, right? Sideways, 2-year plus minus, and when we get the clear ones, we buy. Just look at Abra. Just look at SUP. They are the same. So again, here, if you're not long from 1.8, you can do it roughly 2.4. Maybe a tad lower, but 2.4, we have definitely broken the wedge here, and you have a big breakage in the setup there. I want to show you Abra again for the new people. Again, a setup that is really good, very simple. I love simple stuff. It's the best. You can see here again, we have a phantom up here, right? We have 2 on the bottom, excuse me, 3 on the bottom. Therefore, we expect to some degree that that is resistance. Let's see. Again, we could actually remove it all here. Everything go away, because this was the one-liner that we had at the moment. That one there was the only thing we had on. And of course, we can add the lower side as well. This is from 2021 to 2024, roughly 3 years. And we went long at 2, and now we are at 5. And that is why we love those 2-year, 3-year, 1 year. Again, it depends, but the longer term-ish wedge patterns are just gorgeous. We take those all day long, and we are right most of the time because it's so, in my view, so simple. Drive here. Actually, if we remove that, okay, I just want to show you something here. You can see the same. It's the exact same, but with a bit of a caveat to it. And that is, in this case, we actually have the same beautiful technicals here, if I can do it correctly here. Not perfectly, but still. And then we actually broke down, but you can see we have this 3-year wedge with a breakdown. This was really bad. Breakdown, backtest, oops, didn't hold. You often go to the other side of whatever fractal you had a false breakdown from, and you break out. That is why last week I said, hey, you can buy drive here. It is into some resistance here, though. You can see across here, going across here, roughly 24 resistance, fine. But ultimately, I think it's going to break out and go higher. And the video is still valid. You can check it out. We went into what stocks is in that ETF. It's, again, I did it last week. It still looks good here. False breakout, huge reversal, most likely. Beautiful. Good. I just want to show you the how critical, in a good way or a bad way, but again, it's definitely a decisive moment for the gold and silver ratio, hovering around the 90 here, 90, 90, 90. And that is why you're seeing all this volatility, because if we, again, add big critical structure breaks and or levels, that is when you see, the bulls, the bears really start to fight each other because they know it's important to hold these levels. And this one right here coming down, right? That is a massive breakout, and now we're back testing it. If it doesn't hold here, if this fake out doesn't hold, you know the deal. We go to the other side, and then boom, game over, right? For the ratio, which is really good for miners, really good for gold and silver, platinum, palladium, copper, really good for commodities. So very exciting here at the 90 level. And we can go to the daily. You can see here, roughly 90 holding, barely. So getting below there is what we want. However, we also know when we are incorrect, or at least the timing is not on our side, because I do think very much it's going to get below that at some point in time. But if we break the blue to the upside here, if the bulls can manage to push it through and favor gold, which will start to happen just north of 92, Then again, you will see gold struggle. You will see silver struggle, platinum and all that struggle. Um, well, struggle might be incorrect, but you will definitely see gold do better than silver. And we had a period where gold did better than silver, and silver kind of, limped along, doing okay-ish, but not outperforming. So 90 here, very exciting with the weekly close here. What's going to do? We have 3 more days. So SILJ here, just want to show you, and SILJ, I love SILJ. Excuse me, SIL. I really like the SIL stock ETF here, like that. So very clean. And I just want to show you again how big of a break this is. Again, we have been talking about it many times. One there, two here, three, pull back, break. This is what we look for. This is a 15-year breakout. And you can see we also have a bit of a wedge going on here, right? The same thing, but on a 10-year scale this time, so even longer term. And we're breaking out. So yes, we're down 5% today, but I mean, just look at where we are. In my view, still the early beginning. And you can see here as well, if we have the upper, you can see we're very close to that upper big one here. And again, 1, 2, 3, we might pull back a little bit. Sure, fine, but ultimately we should go. And then all bets are off for the SIL. Again, down 4% today sucks. But again, overall, long term, the chart looks, in my view, incredible. And it takes a lot more downside to convince me, you can say, that this one is not insanely bullish still. It takes so much more. REMX, yes, rare earth metals, REMX. I want to do a video because I want to show what's inside. I want to see if we can pick one or two stocks. Because I think what you could do here very shortly is to buy 50%. If you want to get into rare earth metals, which let's say you have $10,000, whatever, it could be anything. It's just a number. If you have 10,000, there could be a moment here where you want to do 50%, so 5,000 into REMX, and then we can maybe find 2 or 3 individual stocks that will outperform the REMX during this move here. And you can see the downtrend going on for 4 years, yeah? And then we have here again, bit of the 3, impulses there, and we have the trend line here, and the upper golden here, and we have a horizontal there. So 45 and above, right here, 45. I do believe that REMX gets the green light, and we definitely want to be a part of whatever uptrend move we're getting here. I've seen people say that this could be some sort of, sideways correction. Again, Elliott wave is not my go-to. I have one setup, and I do use that all the time. But I don't see it as an Elliott wave. I just see it as this compression. Anyway, so 45 here on REMX, and you should, if you want to get in, that's the green light for me at least to say, hey, go long in whatever good setup that you have within rare earth metals. So yeah, really, really exciting here, 45. Similar, we have lithium. So funny enough, you have REMX with somewhat the same pattern as lithium, because you can see the same 4-year downtrend here. And then you have this horizontal important level at roughly, you guessed it, 42. And we also have a little bit of a flag internally here, but once we start to break out here at 42, maybe a tad lower, then I think this entire thing is over. The downtrend is over, and you should be looking for more upside. Remember when we get these downtrend breakouts, that often you haven't made a higher high, right? You have to go all the way up to here, for instance. So again, hopefully you make the higher high, but you must know that the pullback is coming. So again, if you're not buying here, maybe you're not seeing this, you're seeing this later on, then again, there will be opportunities coming on the back foot of the breakout. Again, it could be that we're going to get something like this, right? Could be, we don't know. But definitely here, big breakout 42 on lithium and the Global X lithium battery tech. One here, XLRE, real estate, big moment coming up here, and many people are calling for a crash in real estate. Sure, it might happen. I don't know, you don't know, they don't know. Uh, but I think the chart here is giving us signs when it happens, or if it happens, and or if we get a break to the upside. Goes against what most people are saying. But to me here, this is all data. And at one point in time, we're getting a break of this wedge here. And this will be a surge in price, most likely. And this will be a massive damaging breakdown, most likely, right? Specifically, if you start to trade below that one there, that's going to get really ugly. So real estate, I don't care what people are saying. I don't listen to news. I don't listen to, whatever. I'm only looking at this chart here. I have two lines. This is my guide, basically. Um, and you can see here the momentum is really, kept within very tight ranges. And we have a Bollinger Band here that you can also see that internally here. I think we're getting some sort of signal here very, very soon. So really exciting. This is COVID madness, by the way. So we're getting some really internal squeezes as well. So whichever way it breaks, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a really, really big one. So we shall see what happens. Again, this is why technical is so good, because you can really just stop listening to other people's opinions, because this is overall all the people that are investing into the XLRE, which is a big ETF, that's their view. So you're getting the views of people that are betting their money on things, and that is typically way more correct than some guy on CNN. Maersk talked about this yesterday. I think it's a good setup. It's up 3% today. Are you buying this here? No, not yet, but we're close to breaking that yellow. So anything between roughly, we talked about it yesterday, 13.5. Okay, beautiful for Maersk shipping company. You're getting 10% dividend. 10%. Check out the video from yesterday in a bit more detail, but I still think it looks good. So I think I kept it 15 minutes, or maybe 20. So yeah, down day today overall. Yikes. But I need to see more. I need to see more. Again, look at how beautiful. I mean, it's fine. For now, it's fine. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.